this season made me really start questioning things. Hey guys, welcome back. Hey everybody, welcome back to Senkuinian Entertainment. We are now going into season 2 of American Horror Story. So, yeah, we're going to talk about American Horror Story season 2 and my thoughts on it. And yeah, because I'm starting to watch. I'm gonna start getting into more horror stuff since this is October. Obviously, I'm going to watch more horror things more horror related, and just talk about it, see my thoughts on it and stuff like that. Honestly, I'm really interested in horror and interested in just stuff like that. Like, I haven't really thought about doing horror like skits because that takes up a lot of time that I don't know if I have. And it takes up a lot of, like, I'll have to, like, there's like certain things that you have to do visually and just there's a lot to it, okay? And yeah. Anyway, the point is, American Horror Story season 2. Season 1 was crazy, right? Season 2, I don't know if it blew that out of the water. It was, I don't know how to feel. Like, and you know, one thing I want to bring up is interesting is I like how they use the same actors and actresses from the first season to the second season. I thought that was really cool, and it seems like they might stay for a lot of the other seasons. I don't know how true that is, but I've seen Evan Peters in another season. I don't know what season it was, but he was in another season that wasn't 1 and 2. So, if y'all are interested in letting me know anything about, like, you know, if anything about American Horror Story that isn't spoiler related, okay, let me know down in the comments down below, all that good stuff, okay? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, using the same actors and actresses as the last season to this season. It really got to show, like, their range as actors, you know, and actresses, and that really that really helped me like their character a lot more. Like, I said this in a post on I think on Twitter, but I was like, follow me on Twitter, Isaiah Senku. But, like, I said, like, the Zachary Quinto, he is such a cool character. He's such a cool actor. I like to see him act. He's like one of those actors where, like, they're just fun to watch. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, like, Leonardo is such a cool actor just to watch on screen and see how he's just a really good actor. Simple as that. Zachary Quinto, he's like that. I wouldn't say he's as good as as Leonardo DiCaprio, but I would say Zachary Quinto is one of those actors where he plays certain roles a little too well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like he's too good at these types of roles. You know, it sucks, not sucks, but it's also, like, interesting to see, like, because he played as Spock in the remake or the reboot of Star Trek as Spock. He played as Spock. I forgot what year that was, but he played as Spock, and in the remake. So it's literally the Star Trek movie, the remake, was the first time I've seen Zachary Quinto do anything on screen, and I really liked that version of Spock. It was really cool. He played it really well. He was such a good actor in those movies, you know. So every time I see him on screen now, I see him as Spock, and it's kind of interesting, you know, for me because he uh, he doesn't feel like he doesn't really have like a, I wouldn't say, like, from what I've seen, he's not big on like showing big amounts of emotion. You know what I mean? And he kind of and that's one of his strengths. You know, he's not like a big emotional type, but he can get the emotional beats off pretty well. It's just, I think, from when I see him in season 2, I see him as Thredson, I'm like, man, he plays these characters. He plays these types of characters really well. So basically, he's really good typecast, right? I don't know if that's, you know, good or bad to be a certain type, to be just into a typecast. Because if you're good at it, you're good at it. Simple as that. You know, you can't. What's one of your skills, and the industry needs people of that skill level. You know, or that skill specifically. So, hey, you know, get your bag. You know. So yeah, I really liked his performance. This performance was great. One of the main characters, Lana. I don't know if there's a consensus. I'm not really into the American Horror Story community like that, so I don't know how people see Lana overall. But I personally am not a huge fan of her character. I'm not the biggest fan of her character. Hey Jack, I do believe that she did what she did in the show. She did her thing. You know, she did her thing. I'm not upset. Yeah, she did her thing. I'm not upset at I'm not upset at her acting per se. I'm more just like, I don't know. It just feels like her. I don't know. I don't want to critique anybody because I'm my own filmmaker myself, so I don't want to be like, you know, I don't want to down somebody else's creative work. It's just personally watching the show and watching every time she was on scene. I don't know. I feel like I was taken out of the show a lot. Number one, because I'm not a big fan of like moles. You know, like, you know, facial moles and stuff, like having moles on her face. I know it was like back then it was Sign of Beauty or whatever back then, you know, like when Marilyn Monroe and stuff was, you know, like personally, this is just personal, and you can attack me all you want, I don't care, this is my personal preference. I'm not a big fan of moles. I'm not a big fan of having moles on her face. Now, you can't, like, obviously that's not your fault for having a mole. You were just born with that. It's not your fault. Personally, you know, it just, and that it just seems like every time I saw her, it just took me out of the experience of the show. I just really didn't care for her character like that. And she was pretty bland as a character anyway, so that kind of added to it. It just, I liked the premise of her character, but I didn't like how bland and basic her character seemed to be, and she made choices that just didn't make sense to me. She made a couple choices that just didn't make sense to me, and I was just like, I don't care for her. I love Kit, right? Like, Evan Peters killed it as Kit. He's great. Evan Peters is a great actor, and I'm glad to see him, like, you know, be hosted up to like being not kind of being in the MCU, right? Kind of, you know, because he was Quicksilver, you know, and stuff, but he wasn't Quicksilver in the MCU per se, you know. But we don't need to get into that. So basically, everything else was great. I like the story behind it. There's a lot of obviously a lot of religious elements behind this season, you know, because it was, you know, in a church, and It was in a monastery, and it was in like a mental patient hospital that the church was taking care of. All this, it's just a bunch of stuff. I liked it though. I like. I feel bad for a lot of these characters, including Lana. And it was interesting to see it was interesting to see this stuff play out. The line of like the aliens, and then you got like dealing with mental institutes, and dealing with the police, dealing with crazy people, and it was a lot. It was a lot. This show is a lot. This whole show is just a lot to deal with. So this is like one of those things where like I gotta take a break from the show just to cleanse my palate. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be like one of those things. I'm just have to take a break because this is a lot to deal with immediately, like in one season. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the main thing I just had a problem with was Lana. I didn't really care about her, and then what she did towards the end, I get it, but at the same time, it's like I didn't really care enough about the character to really care about why she did this, towards the end, and yeah, everything else was great though. Everything else was very spectacular and beautiful, and the story was pretty legit, or by legit I mean like it was pretty like it was pretty good. It was a good story, So yeah, it's pretty cool. Nothing too crazy. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you are watching this channel, if you like this channel and you like these videos, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about American Horror Story as a whole, or you think about season 2 in general, and in the comments down below. Don't forget to follow. If you want to become a full smarty, check out my Patreon in the description down below. I'm still trying to work on once I get a certain amount of people, I'll start actually taking it seriously. Or not, I am taking it seriously, but I'm like, think of it as like, when I get a certain amount of people, that means that people actually want to see, more stuff from me on Patreon. So I had to put more effort into that. What else? I think. Oh yeah, so follow me on social media. Everything is Isaiah Senku. Sometimes underscore, sometimes Isaiah underscore Senku, sometimes it's just Isaiah Senku. So check me out. Anything else? I think that's it, pretty much. So thank you all for watching. Love yourself and love others. Don't forget to stay wise. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.